Huh. Much better. You might be wondering why I did that whole little, transition thingy. Well, it was to show you exactly how important it is light when it comes to photography, right? Light is pretty much essential to photography. If you don't get enough light, or if you are in a room with a crappy light, you're never gonna get exactly the pictures that you want. You're gonna be stuck with pictures that are pretty much that you don't like, and you're gonna end up trying or disappointed or never going to be satisfied with yourself or your work. So basically today we're going to talk about an issue that's been happening and happens to a lot of people, and that is that they don't get enough light. Sometimes you don't have the equipment, or you're not in the place where you want to be for the occasion. Now, there are three things that can, influence the light that you get into your camera. The first one would be ISO. ISO is basically it measures the sensitivity of your camera sensor. So it means that the higher you go with your ISO, the more sensitive your camera sensor is gonna get. So you're gonna get, if you go too high, you're gonna get a lot more light, but you're gonna get those tiny little spots that, the grain that you can see in some pictures. You're gonna get that. You wanna go high but not too high so you get enough light, right? That's the first thing that you can change. The second thing would be the F, and that means, the aperture, how much your lens is opening up, so how much light it's letting in. You want to go as low as possible to get as much light as possible. And also if you're on the f1.8 or that kind of stuff, you're gonna be starting to see real clear bokeh, which means that's when the background is blurred and the subject is pretty much cut from the background. I'm gonna put an image just so you can get exactly what I'm trying to say. And the third thing would be the time of exposure, and that's pretty much self-explanatory, because the more time you let your photo expose, the more light you're gonna get in your pictures. It's pretty obvious, I think. So yeah, those are the three things that you can use or change to get more light into your pictures. Now, even knowing all of that, some people can't get the light that they want because they can't go too high with their ISO, or maybe they can't go too low with their F because their lenses don't let them do that. So we're stuck with a problem. But of course there's always a solution, and that would be this lens. This is the f1.8 50mm Canon. You might be thinking, well, 50mm, in what context can I use that? 50mm, it's a really good thing, especially if you're doing portraits. It's really great to get those portraits going on. Now, the second thing, as it said in the name, it's an f1.8, which means you can go lower with the f. And you might be thinking that that's not too much, that's not a really high difference. Well, let me tell you that it really is a high difference compared to an f4 or a 3.5 with an 1.8. I mean, you can really tell the difference that in this hand you get an f 3.5 or 4, whatever it is, and this hand you get an f 1.8, and you can really see the difference. It's pretty much the same picture and everything else, it's just the f that changes. And this, my friends, is a prime lens. Also, prime lens, what it means, it's stuck, right? It's stuck at 50mm, which means you don't have that extra glass that lets you zoom in or zoom out. So you get sharper images too. A little plus down there. And now, you might be thinking that the price of this kind of lens would be really high because you're getting a lot of stuff. Well, I'm gonna tell you that this thing is just 180 bucks. It's really cheap for this kind of lenses. and by lenses I mean that low of an f. Normally you would see lenses of f1.8 or lower go to the $1,000 or even higher sometimes. So yeah, it's around $180, which is great. I'm gonna link an Amazon link just down so you can check it out. I had it for 2 years now, and this one broke because pretty much of my weight of treating it. I threw it, I dropped it, I pretty much carried it everywhere. So pretty much I took this everywhere, and it broke after 2 years, and it didn't even broke really. It just the autofocus doesn't work anymore. So I can pretty much use this with a manual focus. It's pretty durable. You get the f1.8, you get sharper images because it's a prime lens, and you get the bokeh. Also, it's pretty small, so it fits everywhere, guys. If you're thinking of buying something that can be useful for you when taking pictures outside in the night, or at sunsets, or when it's starting to, the sun is starting to go down, sunset pretty much, but when there's not much light anymore, I really recommend just buy this lens for those cases. If you're searching for something that is not too expensive and great, and I think if you're starting photography or you are, trying to experience other things, this little bad boy is for you guys. So that's everything for me today, guys. I hope this was useful for you guys, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next time. If you want to let me know other lenses that you think that are great, or the lens that you are using and you think that other people could use, please let them know in the comments down below. And that's gonna be everything for me today. Easy out, guys.